Hello everyone, welcome back to another lecture of Fundamentals of Computational Biology. Today we will look into basics of evolutions. So, evolution is a process of gradual development, change or diversification of living organism over successive generations. It involves the heritable changes in the trait and characteristics of population over time. Now, before we go to the depth of this lecture, let me start with what is the significance of evolution in the biological world. So, evolution is a fundamental concept in the biology that explains the unity and diversity of life on Earth. So, it provides a framework for understanding how species arise, adapt and become extinct. Evolutionary principles are crucial in various scientific disciplines including genetics, ecology and paleontology. So, understanding evolution helps in development of medical treatment, agriculture and conserve strategies. So, what is the historical perspective of evolution? Now, there are several theories associated with this principle. One is creationism, the belief that living organisms were created in their present form by a supernatural entity. Now, what is the fixity of these species? The idea of species do not change over time and are unaltered since their creation. Now, there are several contributions to these theories. One such contribution is from the scientist named as Lamarck. So let's understand the contributions of Lamarck. So Jean-Baptiste Lamarck from 1744 to 1829 proposed the theory of inheritance of acquired characteristics. Lamarck suggested that organisms can change during their lifetime in response to their environment and these changes are passed on to next generations. His idea included the concept of use and disuse theory, where body parts used more frequently become stronger and while those body parts which are unused deteriorate with time. Another contribution let's look upon, that is the contribution from Darwin. Charles Darwin from 1809 to 1882 proposed the theory of natural selection. Now, Darwin's observed during his voyage to the HMS Beagle led to the development of theory of evolution by natural selection. Natural selection is a process by which individuals with favorable traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing these traits to the next generation. Now, Darwin wrote a book on the origin of species in 1859. It laid the foundation of what we call as modern theory of evolution. His theory revolutionized the understanding of diversity of life on Earth. Let's talk about Darwinian evolution in detail. So in this Darwinian evolution, we will first look upon the natural selection. Now, the process by which any organism with traits that are advantageous for the environment tend to survive and reproduce more successfully than the organisms without these traits. Now, let's briefly look into the mechanism. So, over time, more frequency of advantageous traits is increased in the population, leading to the evolution of species. Now, we have to also look upon the adaptation and survival of the fittest because it is one of the key features in this principle. Now, what is adaptation is the process by which a population becomes better suited to its environment through inherited characteristics. And what is the survival of fittest? Individuals with traits that are enhanced their ability to survive and reproduce now contributes more offerings to the next generation. Now, these increase the prevalence of these traits in the population. Now, there are different evidences that supported the Darwinian evolution. Let's look upon them by one. So, the first one is fossil records. Now, the transitional fossils shows the intermediate form between the ancestral and the descendant species. The order of the fossils in the rock layers corresponds to the predicted order based on the evolutionary theory. Now, there are another evidences such as comparative anatomy. Homologous structure. They are the similar structure in the structure but different functions, indicating a common ancestry. Now another option is analogous structure. Similar functions but different structure, suggesting the adaptation to the different or similar environment. Now another aspect is homology at the molecular level. Now the similarities in DNA, RNA and protein sequences among the different species provide the evidences of a shared evolutionary history. Another aspect is molecular clocks. Now these molecular clocks helps to estimate the time since the species has diverged from a common ancestry. Now another aspect is biogeography. So the distribution of species on Earth's continent support the idea of common ancestry and evolution in response to different environments. Now there are some experimental evidences as well. So the laboratory experiments with the bacteria and other microorganisms have demonstrated the occurrence of evolution over a short period of time. In this context, the selective breeding in the agriculture and animal husbandry illustrates the artificial selection and the impact on the traits over different generations. So, what is the different mechanism of these evolutionary changes or these evolutionary types? So, the genetic variations refers to the difference in DNA sequences amongst the individual in the population in the foundation of evolution and provides the raw material upon which the natural selection acts. Now, what is the source of these variations? So, one common source is the sexual reproduction. Now, we combine the genetic material from two parents. They result in a unique combination of alleles in the offspring. So let's briefly look into the genetic recombination. So during meiosis, the chromosomes exchange their genetic material and that creates a new combination of alleles. Now another very important source of this variation is mutation. So a mutation is a random and heritable changes in the DNA sequence of an organism. It introduces a new genetic changes or variations in the population. Now we have already looked upon these types of mutation, but I will just describe very briefly. So one such mutation type is point mutation, that changes occurs in just single nucleotide. Now insertions and deletion. So addition or removal of nucleotide sequences from a common sequence is called as addition or deletion. Chromosomal mutation. A large scale changes affects the whole segment of the chromosome or the chromosomes changes their location. So what is the role in evolution? So mutations contribute to the genetic diversity and can be subjected to natural selection, leading to the adaptation of population to change in their environment. Another very important is gene flow. Now what is gene flow is? It is a transfer of genetic material from one population to another through migration or interbreeding. What is the impact of these several domains in the evolution? So one such impact is homogenization. Gene flow can make populations more similar by spreading the advantageous allele among them. Now introduction of new alleles. Gene flow introduces a new genetic material that can influence the evolutionary trajectory of that particular population. Now what are the different factors that influence the gene flow? One such factor is migration rate. It is the movement of individuals between populations. Now, what is a barrier to gene flow? A physical or reproductive barriers can limit the interbreeding. Now, another important aspect is called as genetic drift. What is genetic drift is? Genetic drift is a random fluctuation of alleles frequencies within a population, primarily in the small population. Now, in this we will study a very important and effective effect that is called as bottleneck effect. A drastic reduction in the population size due to a catastrophic event is called as bottleneck effect. It is resulting in the loss of genetic diversity and increase the impact of genetic drift. Another important effect is called as founder's effect. Now it occurs when a small group of individuals colonizes in a new area. So the environment play an important role here. So the genetic makeup of founders population influences subsequently in the generation. What is its role in evolution? Genetic drift can lead to the fixation or loss of alleles in that particular population. It is independent of their adaptive value. It is a significant force that shapes the genetic composition of population over time. So in this context, we will also look upon the microbial evolution. So why we study microbial evolution is because they are having a very low number of generation time. So microorganisms are tiny living organisms that are too small to be seen with the naked eye. They include bacteria, viruses, fungi and protozoa. Now the importance is abundance and the diversity. Now microorganisms are incredibly abundant in nature and they are present everywhere, including soils, water and even human body. Now the microorganisms play a crucial role in nutrient cycling, the food production and in human health. Their rapid reproduction and adaptability to the environment makes them ideal and suitable candidate for studying evolutionary processes. So now there are certain advantages associated with these microorganisms. I'll explain one by one. Now first one is short reproductive cycle. Microorganisms often have a very short generation times, allowing for rapid reproduction and evolutionary changes over relatively brief period of time. Now the another important aspect is the adaptation to the environmental changes. Microbes can quickly adapt to the changing environmental conditions, including different pH, temperature and nutrient availability. Now they are also having a high mutation rates as compared to the higher order organisms. Some microorganisms have higher mutation rates and it is leading to the higher likelihood of genetic variation within the population, and they can easily transfer it to the next subsequent generations. Now let's talk about some of the important examples of microbial evolution. One such example is the bacterial resistance to the antibiotics. What is the mechanism associated with this? So the bacteria can evolve the resistance towards the antibiotics through natural selection. Now there are several examples in this category, such as the methicillin resistance the Staphylococcus aureus, also called as MRSA. It is one of the MDR category tuberculosis, that is multi-drug resistance. Now another important aspect is viral evolution. Now they are having a very high rapid mutation rates. So the RNA viruses such as the influenza viruses undergoes rapid mutations, leading to the emergence of new strains. Another example is the fungal adaptation. So the antifungal resistance, the fungi can evolve resistance to the antifungal medications, impacting on the medical treatment. So what are different types of this speciation? So the different types are, one such type is allopatric speciation. The allopatric speciation occurs when the population are geographically separated, leading to the reproductive isolation, such as emergence of rocks or a particular mountain. These are the examples. So what are these geographical barriers? A physical barrier such as a mountain range or a body of water separates a two different population. So it leads to the genetic divergence. So isolation leads to the genetic divergence due to different selection pressures and mutation rates. So these reproductive isolations over time allows or prevent the genetic flows between these two particular population. There are several examples in this particular category. One such is the formation of Isthmus of Panama, leading to the divergence of marine species from either sides. Now the islands isolate from the mainland population often exhibits the allopatric speciation. The another such speciation type is called as sympatric speciation. Sympatric speciation occurs when the population evolves the reproductive barriers within the same geographical area. Now, let's talk about the mechanism associated with this particular category of speciation. One such is called as polyploidy. Now, the changes in the chromosome number, often through errors in the cell division, leads to the reproductive isolation. Now, what it leads to is called as ecological niche differentiation. Now, the populations exploited different ecological niche, reproductive competitions, and promoting the speciation. One such example is behavioral isolation. So, changes in the mating behavior prevents the interbreeding. Now, what are different examples associated with these categories are polyploidy plants such as wheats, cotton, or tobacco plants. They are resulting from the errors in the mitosis or meiosis process. One such example is the cichlid fish in the African lakes adapting to the different depths of food sources, leading to the ecological speciation. Now, another important category is the reproductive isolation. So, in this particular reproductive isolation, there are several categories. One such category is pre-zygotic barriers. Now, what it leads to is the temporal isolation. Now, populations breed at different times, preventing their mating. Example in this particular categories are plants with different flowering seasons. They are often leads to different inbreeding cycles. Now, another is habitat isolation. So, populations occupy different habitats within the same area. Now, example in this particular category is terrestrial and aquatic populations of frogs. So, I talked about behavioral isolation. In this category also, the differences in the mating behavior prevent the successful mating. So, it prevents these organisms from mate to each other based upon their reproductive choices. The unique courtship ritual or the vocalizations comes under this particular category. Now, the next category is post-zygotic barriers. So, in this category, let's talk about the hybrid invariability. So, the hybrid embryos do not develop or evolve the viability. So, many times these hybrids, they cannot survive to the environment, or maybe they are unable to give a next generation child. So, the crossbreeding between different species of mice are the example of this particular category. This also leads to hybrid sterility. Now, the hybrids are sterile and cannot produce the viable offsprings. The examples in this category are mules. These offsprings are generated from the horses and the donkeys. So, another important aspect is the hybrid breakdowns. So, the hybrids may be fertile, but the subsequent generation have reduced fitness. So, while we considering the inbreeding, they are not important as compared to their ancestral population. Now, what are different evidences for these evolutionary changes? So, we have already talked about the fossil records. These fossil records is collected over the time, and they are important in the studying the chronological history of life on Earth. Now, these are of several types. One such type is transitional fossils. So, the fossils that exhibits the traits of both ancestral and the descendant population, demonstrating the evolutionary trajectories. So, the stratigraphy, the order of fossils in the rock layers correspond to the predicted order based upon the evolutionary theories. The examples in this category are Archaeopteryx. So, a transitional fossils between a dinosaur and a bird. So, scientists have studied these fossils, and they have arrived at location that they must have evolved in between these two different species. So, another important aspect is comparative anatomy. So, comparative anatomy involves the studying of similarities and the differences in the structure of living organisms. So, how these supports the theory of evolution? So, we have already talked about the homologous structures. Let's study them in a bit of detail here. So, the structures with a common evolutionary origin but they may have different functions. So another aspect is analogous structure. So the structure with a similar function but different evolutionary origins. The examples in these categories are within the homologous structures. So the forelimb of mammals, humans, baits or whales with a common ancestral origin. The examples in case of analogous structures are the wings of bats and the birds adapted for flight. One such important aspect is co-evolution. So the co-evolution is the reciprocal evolution influence between two or more interacting species. So the mutualistic or analogistic relationship, the co-evolution species may have relationship where they benefit from each other or they might affect each other negatively. So the examples in these categories are plants and the pollinators often co-evolved. So with the adaptation in flower shape and the pollinators behavior. So in this we will study the adaptive radiation. So the adaptive radiation is a rapid divergence of the common ancestry into the variety of forms to exploit the different ecological niches. So the diversification in response to the new environment, such as the species evolve to occupy the various habitats and exploits the different resources. Examples in these categories are again the finches on the Galapagos Island. They are adapted to the different food sources and the environmental conditions, resulting in the multiple species with the distinct beak shaped. Now let's talk about the contemporary issues in this particular evolution. One such issue is climatic changes and the relation with the evolution. So they result in the altered habitat. So the climatic changes leading to the shift in temperatures and the precipitation patterns affecting the distribution of species. Now, what are the different selection pressures that are involved is the species face a new challenges such as change in the food availability and migration pattern. They leads to this kind of divergence. So the adaptation and the extinction. So the adaptation, some species evolved new traits to cope up with the changing environmental conditions, and in another case species that are unable to adapt may face the increased risks of extinction. The examples in these categories are polar bears facing changes due to the reduction of sea ice, forcing them to adapt to their new behavior and on their diet. Now another important is the human impact on the evolution. Selective pressures from the human activities. So the antibiotic resistance, the overuse of antibiotic in medicine and agriculture have contributed to the evolution of antibiotic resistance in bacteria. Another one important is the pollution and industrialization. So the environmental changes that exerts the selective pressure on the organisms, leading to the adaptive responses. Now another important aspect in this particular category is the cultural evolution. So in this cultural evolution, one part is the technological advancements. So the rapid pace of technological advancements can change the influence of human culture and behavior. They are and then can shape the evolutionary trajectories. The examples in this particular category is the development of lactose tolerance in human population due to the domestication of animals and the practice of dairy farming. So the other important aspect is the evolutionary conservations. So in this evolutionary conservation, let's first talk about the biodiversity conservation. So the prevention of genetic diversity. So maintaining a diverse genetic pool within the population helps to ensure their long-term survivals. Now we can also adapt to the habitat protection. So the conservational effect focuses on the prevention and the preservation of natural habitats to support the ecological roles of different species. Now, in this category, the conservation of genetics is very important. So, the genetic management is a technique that helps to assessment the management of population that are endangered species to maintain their genetic diversity. So the examples in this category is the conservation effects of the Florida panthers, that involves the genetic monitoring to prevent the interbreeding and maintain a healthy population. So let's talk very brief about the applications in the medicine and biotechnology. So in case of medical research, so in this category, let's talk about understanding disease. So evolutionary principles contributing to the understanding of evolution of pathogens and the development of new medical treatments. So one such category is the genetic medicines. These genetic medicines from the evolutionary genetics, from the regular medicines to the personalized medicine, can lead to a lot of personal touch to treating these particular genes. In category of biotechnological advancements, in case of genetic engineering, the evolutionary principles guides the emergence of organisms from desired traits such as disease resistance in crops. So in case of pharmaceutical development, the evolutionary concepts are applied to the discovery and design of drugs. The examples in these categories are the use of the evolutionary principles in the development of flu vaccines to adapt to the evolving influenza viruses. So with these let's conclude today's lecture. We have learned so far the basics of evolution and how these evolutionary changes affects the normal behavior of any species or the counter effect on the human aspects. So with this I wind up my today's lecture.